So here we are at the Soldotna Homestead Museum. Got decent parking. Closes at 9. Opens at like 10. Oh, okay. This is a coyote. Almost bigger than Casimir, really. And here you go. A whole bunch of native stuff. A scale model of an Eskimo Uniac from St. George Island. Oh. That's a pretty cool design actually for kayak. Yeah, there's a brown bear skull and a black bear skull. Probably small. Bear bone. Okay. So yeah, I'm beginning to think my bone club is a bare bone at that point. Because that's about the right size. I know I'm not supposed to touch, but yeah. So I have a bone at home I found in Glen Ellen. That is a brown bear. Wait, look at the size of that hide. There's a polar bear. Look at the size of that hide. Sam, go stand next to those light switches. Yeah, polar bear eats you alive. Oh, San Francisco, 1904. Donated by Betty Land. Betty Land found it while she was digging an outhouse in Old Kenai. Wow. Reindeer are better than people. Reindeer are better than people. They mount their heads in a way. Hawks.
Back in school.
Yeah, this is the Sleecock Valley School. This was the school building in '58. This would have been a school if your grandmother lived in Soldotna when she was a little kid. This would have been a school building she went to. What do you mean freaky? It's just a one-room cabin. The board games they used to play back in the day. Like circa 1950. It was the summer of '58 and the log schoolhouse was started. Most of these people had children who needed to go to school. I cooked for the men, dug the hole for the footing, and so on. Tommy Joe Core. Yep. Oh, there's a note here. There's notes on the desks. Our supplies came from Juneau. Each child had a text. We had enough pencils and paper. I didn't know many songs, but we sang together. One year we put on a play. They acted out a story from a book. We performed it out of doors. Tommy Joe Core. Franklin Roosevelt, the boy of the four freedoms. That would be Tommy Joe Core right there. Elementary Course of Study Supplement, Territory of Alaska, Department of Education. Uniform Weekly Allowance. Open exercise 50 minutes, recess 100 minutes. You only got 100 minutes of recess back in 1958.
You only get 30 in public school.
No, 100 minutes a week.
Oh. It's like
Weekly allowance of recess.
It's like 15 minutes.
100 minutes a week divided by 7, divided by 5 technically. So 100 divided by 5 is 20.
20-minute recess.
A day.
Wow.
On top of that, 10 minutes of exercise a day. Let's see. What were some things they needed to learn here? Language arts. The child should listening, reading. 750 minutes. This is like the whole curriculum, circa 1954. Yeah. Oh, I didn't see the grades. Hold on. Yeah, the grades go across. That's cool. Oh, here you go. Map. Generalized land status Alaska. What are we looking at here? We're looking at the Arctic slope. What is this? Oh, the general land status. Oh, okay, cool. It's who's responsible for what land. That's pretty dope. Log cabin school marks end of era, 59 to 16. 13 students attended here. Mrs. Tommy Jo Core, the teacher. The purchase of Alaska, 1867. And this is why it's important to read cursive, to know how to read cursive. Because how are you able to read any of this if you can't read cursive? There's the check. That's the check? Holy shit, that's the check. Or the treasury warrant, but yeah, same diff. That's really cool. All right, here we go. Next building. The next building and all this. All right, we've gone there, and now we're going here. Soldotna, that would be this building here. Let's go. Soldotna Tourist Center, built in 62 by residents of Greater Soldotna area, operated by the Greater Soldotna area. Oh, so this is where the flyers and probably the museum attendant is. Pink hobnail blouse. To think that was hand carved. Look at the detail on that. Benny Ben's this guy made the Alaska flag. It's really cool. The evolution of a homestead. Foot pedal venting. Oh. This giant binder. Bridgeside Sterling Highway. Okay, here we go. That's really cool. Old newspaper clippings. An old shirt sale ad in the newspaper. That's really cool. Lure of Alaska wins Toledo family. Illegal airman, no prisoner in Romania gets to get air medal. That's
the second or the third biggest king salmon ever caught right there, depending on how you feel about commercial fishing. That fish was 85 pounds. The biggest one, technically, was caught by Les Anderson in the 90s, and it was around 95 pounds. But the scandal is that he paraded it around town for about 6 hours. And so it lost anywhere from 5 to 15 pounds of water weight. So it was probably actually well over 100 pounds. But then if you do believe that the commercial fishing part counts, one larger, weighing in at about 115 pounds, that was caught in Prince William Sound near Valdez. Because when the commercial fishers go out, they just string like these massive nets across areas of rivers and streams and oceans, and so it just catches everything. And so that fish just happened to end up there. But that's kind of why people don't count that one. But the one that Wes Anderson caught was caught with his own fishing pole, his own lure, his own reeling, and
So he rod and reeled it?
yep, sport fishing.
Nice.
Yep.
And then Anna, you were wondering about humpies. That's a humpy. So this is Tchaikovsky's Homestead Cabin. Private First Class Ed Tchaikovsky. So yeah, you still don't need a lot today. But everyone gets all hoardy and private. Don't look at me while I'm changing. And so, shit like that. He started with this cabin when he got out of the military. It's just a straightforward cabin. There he is. Another military man who just did the homesteading life back in the day. Yeah, because that's what would happen. You hang your socks up to dry, kid. Well, that whole thing would heat this whole room. Hands down. There he is. R.M. Victor. This is a obituary. So I see these types of buildings all over the place. And here's what they are. Alaska Food Cache. What is an Alaska cache? Common sight in Alaska. Anyone describes familiar structure, most often you'll hear a small cabin on stilts. To protect food from hungry animals, caches were built by most Native Alaskans. The Homesteaders log home was built by Johnny Parks in '64. So Ira and Ann Little. How to build a cabin during Alaska winter. He built this in the winter. Let's go inside. And that's a double bed. No, that's a double. That's a barrel stove. It's a barrel turned into a stove with a flat top for cooking. Back in the day, you didn't lollygag in the house all day. You actually went out and did things.